Eamon, pre-season game number 2 against Featherstone ends in defeat. What are your thoughts on that performance?
Oh, look, I'm happy. I think the game gave us everything that we kind of needed. It was really important for us to look at some things from the Halifax game and try and improve on them, and I thought we did. Ultimately, I thought the effort was outstanding from everyone throughout the squad. So, and everyone came through the game as well, which is really, really important to me. So yeah, I'm stood here. I'm a happy man.
What encouraging signs have you picked up from that?
Again, I feel like I'm giving you the same kind of words as it is at Halifax, but effort first and foremost. And we spoke about just where we wanted to start some of our defensive sets, and I thought we did that very well throughout the first half, certainly. So those are the most impressive signs that I would give you now. But yeah, still plenty to work on.
Certainly it wasn't the start you wanted, conceding back-to-back penalties and then that early try.
Yeah, especially when that's one thing we spoke about after the Halifax game. So, but good lessons for us and ones that we'll have to learn quickly.
In terms of obviously the message getting through to the team, are you going to address these issues? I think it was free play the balls this afternoon.
Yeah, and that was the disappointing one. Obviously I didn't see him live, so I'll look back at him. But just shows you now with that ruling, you can really put yourself under pressure just through that little bit of skill and ill discipline. So that's something we spoke about at half time. I think we put ourselves under pressure when we didn't really need to. On the flip side of that, shown a great response and came up and scored some points to set afterwards. So again, lessons to be learned, but I'm happy with where we're at for the moment.
Just on the play the ball rule, obviously it's going to interpretation is going to differ from referee to referee. We saw Halifax only 2 given by James Vella. I think Ben Failer ended up giving 7 this afternoon.
Is that how many it was? Yeah. It felt like there was a few. Look, all I can say on that is as coaches and players, we've got a responsibility to make sure that we do the right thing and make an attempt to play the ball. How that then is seen throughout their eyes, that's not down to us. We'll just keep on making sure that we're looking at that in training, and hopefully there's no more, because you can see there were periods of that game wasn't great for people who are coming to watch rugby, but that ultimately that responsibility lies with us.
How pleased are you with, after conceding that try to Brad Day, he forced the error and then George Tafua scores straight in at the corner immediately? Yeah,
again, that's what we spoke about, but more so the reasons why we put ourselves in that position in the first place, and I was just happy with the response on the back of that. But again, I feel we don't want to wait to get smacked on the nose to kind of respond. We want to build our sets, and we spoke about breaking the game down into 4 10-minute blocks, and we learned a harsh lesson in that first 10 minutes. But again, that's great. That's what's great about pre-season games. It gives us something to look at and something to get better at.
You made 7 changes to the side from Halifax. Obviously, you've given a lot of the younger players in that last 20 minutes a bit of a run out. Have any of those impressed you?
Yeah, they all did. I thought they were great. I thought they were really good, especially our right edge, which was under some pressure against Featherstone's left edge, which is really strong. So I thought they all stood up. And Sam Aykroyd came on and we put him in a position he'd not necessarily trained him, purely for the fact that we lost a man for 10 minutes. Just their effort to work for each other. It wasn't perfect, but they kept turning up for each other, and ultimately that's what you want from young boys that come in. You can understand they're probably off in some areas. Not that I thought that they were, but the one thing that you wrote that they're good at is that their effort, and they put the body on the line, and I thought they did that.
Is that what the difference was in the end in that last 20 minutes? Featherstone kept, by and large, the majority of their first team squad out, and obviously you brought on the youngsters.
Oh, I don't know. I think that'd be a bit of a disservice to Featherstone. That we made changes. I'll be honest. I'm not too sure what they did with their squad. So we had some young lads out there, but we had some experience as well, Mick. So certainly no excuses from me there. There were things that we needed to do much better throughout the game in terms of managing it. But again, the effort levels were fantastic, and probably give us an opportunity to showcase what we can do. We just need to do it more often.
Certainly there was some good linking qualities for all the tries between Jordan and Lee, and obviously Kieran Gill Tafua scoring 2, and even on the other side the kick through for Ben Blackmore.
Yeah, great. We've got structures that you practice and you want to do. Some of that is just down to the talent in the team, Gasky seeing what he sees and people holding the shape. So again, we want them to play with an element of freedom, and they did that today and scored some nice points.
Just on the sin bin to Billy Jowett, will you look at that again, or is it to the naked eye a fair call?
Oh, we'll have a look. I think it'll be a fair call, mate. And obviously live, we couldn't see it. We were a bit shocked when we seen him walking off. I think it was a professional foul. So yeah, we'll look at it. Not in too much. There'll be lessons within that, but we'll be all right.
Elliot Piposhi didn't feature this afternoon. What's
Yeah, he's had an illness. So one thing about Elliot, he was really disappointed he couldn't train and play. It was more my decision to keep him away, 1, from the camp, so that he didn't give anyone else any sickness, and 2, I want to make sure that when Elliot plays, which hopefully will be next week, that he can give the best account of himself. He's a great kid and he's been doing well. So he didn't need to be here today to prove anything about himself. He's a great lad and we know he works hard. So hopefully if he's good next week he'll get an opportunity. But I'm not going to put a young lad out on trial if he's not 100% fit. It'd be unfair to him.
And you mentioned with Michael Lawrence, straight after the Christmas period, he needs a little bit of protection, a little bit of bubble wrap around him.
Yeah, he does. You know what? He's not missed a session yet. He's great. He wants to be involved with everything. I think if I said to him you can play today, he would have wanted to. You can still see he's heavily involved. He's here today. He's in the change rooms with the boys, doing what a captain would do. But it's the right thing, mate. It's a long season. We've got another 2 games to play before we get into any sort of competitive game. So managing this period is really important to us.
You mentioned everybody come through with a clean bill of health. That must be pleasing, especially with Ben Blackmore coming back and the Scare brothers, of course, from injury.
Yeah, definitely. That is one of the most pleasing factors, really. Some lads played a little bit longer than we ideally wanted them to, but it looks like everyone's come through, so that's great. It gives us a couple of weeks now to prepare, and we've obviously got a game next week as well, so we'll see what the kind of squad looks like after we've assessed everyone.
It was 3 tries apiece. Ultimately, some people might look and say it's come down to goal kicking. How much emphasis are you going to put on goal kicking? Do you see there being work for improvement, or do you look at the tries all in the corners and think, well, there's a bit of mitigation there this afternoon?
Oh, a bit of both. I've never kicked a ball, so I don't want to be too harsh on him. What I will say is I think we've got some quality in the group that can kick. I think Billy slotted one from the sideline in torrential rain against Halifax, but today was 6 points. So again, we talk about learning lessons. That's one for us. So certainly it's something that we'll look to work on, but I'm not going to be coming down hard on Billy with that. Like you said, where we scored our points is extremely difficult. I thought he hit them well. So, just one of them things we need to keep practicing.
And just finally from me, Eamon, 2 championship sides who are going to be challenging for the top 4, ultimately very little between both.
Yeah, I hope so. Still very early days. Like I said, I can only speak about what we're doing. We've still got a lot of work to do. I said it before, I'm very happy with where we're at the current moment, but it's probably not going to be good enough for us going into the start of the season when we're in fully competitive games. So I'm really glad we got the hit out today. We get a lot of learnings from that. I'm looking forward to watching it back, and then we've got a good week's training in front of us. So yeah, still plenty to do, but happy with where we're at.